coming from the film world, especially my generation, millennials, there's a lot of things going on, especially in social media, like award shows ain't shit. And, you know, you got artists boycotting Grammys. Right? I'm just saying, like, that's a common thread.
Yeah.
I want to know from yourself, is the Michelin star still, you know, the bar to achieve? Or can you still be phenomenal without that credit?
Oh, you can absolutely be phenomenal without that credit. In fact, I think that there are restaurants who deliberately don't want to be reviewed by Michelin because they just don't care. And they don't want to be lumped in with restaurants like Don Alphonso, for example, which is absolutely the worst, horrendous experience of any Michelin star restaurant I could possibly. It was actually worse than the restaurants that have no ratings.
Can you elaborate on that? Because I'm not sure who Don Alphonso is.
Don Alphonso was a restaurant that opened up, I think originally it opened up, what was it, Toronto, Victoria Street, somewhere. It was in that space.
Yeah.
And now they moved to the Harbourfront Center at the top there where Tula used to be, at the very top. Yeah, great views and all that. I mean, if you like the view of Toronto City and like some like train tracks. Or
right.
Waterfront. It's a waterfront.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want details? Okay, let's talk about a dish. Let's talk about their famous dish, the Il Gelato, with the pulverized egg yolk and mint sauce and rose-scented tagliatelle. Now, I had...
When did you eat this?
I had this, what was it, last year.
Okay, so you remember exact dish.
Yeah, well, you remember things if they're amazing or horrible.
Gotcha.
Like you remember like the best sex you ever had?
Yeah.
Remember the worst sex you ever had?
Yeah.
So, no. Yeah, fair. Joe's like, I've never had that sex, bro. It's like, no. Happy wife, happy life, right? This dish was. I had read about this dish. I gone online prior before I went to the because I wanted to see what Toronto Michelin was.
Right.
I went and they ordered this. We ordered the entire menu. We did the tasting plus all the a la carte items. Me and my friend, who is a chef, like Swiss trained. This guy, runs circles around probably any chef in the city. To be honest. And we went because I like ballast. Because I can be very opinionated, especially in Toronto. I have no love for the city and its restaurants. I think that the majority of them are actual fucking garbage. So I went and I made a comment. Yeah, I made a comment about someone made a comment about Danico or something, or no, it was Blue Bloods. It was another Liberty Entertainment restaurant, and how great it was in this. And I wrote something. I showed Joe. I wrote the comment, and someone responded by saying, Grant Soto 2.0 RIP. It was so funny because I never even followed. I Googled Grant Soto. I'm like, he was a guy in the city who would have very strong opinions about restaurants.
Right.
Yeah.
But out of that one comment, I was just like, all of a sudden, people were like hating me, and it's like, oh, what the fuck, I don't care about what you think. Anyways, this dish was completely and utterly wrong in every aspect. The way it was plated, the way the components were cooked. Mm-hmm. The interplay between the components themselves, the pasta, the ribbon of tagliatelle, which is like a pinkish reddish color, the rose, the mint sauce, the pulverized egg yolk, which added zero flavor. It was, I think for textural contrast, and then the Il Gelato, which it looked like the outside of a quail's eggshell. If you know what that looks like, and it wasn't a gelato. It was more like because gelato's cold,
right?
And maybe it would have been better if it was cold because you can taste things less when they're colder.
Oh gosh,
no, it's true.
Yeah.
That's why you serve.
You don't think about it till it's said.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's right.
So it's like it's more like a foie mousse, a quenelle, and it was all. It was all deconstructed. Like none of the components were touching each other on the plate. Like the mint sauce would the egg yolk would be like spattered around the plate. And brothers, I tried. I gave it the benefit of doubt. I said to my friend, I said, right. I'm gonna try each component separately just to see what the flavor profiles are from each one. Bland as fuck. Zero fucking flavor throughout the entire dinner. That was the tapestry of flavor profiles that we got that night. Yeah. There was no balance. There was zero structure to the whole meal. And in terms of service, I asked the server, I said, we're going to do the entire tasting menu. We already made that reservation, but I'd like to know if we can also order every a la carte item, not already being served on the tasting menu. She's like, of course. I served for many, many years. There's a cadence. Yeah, there's a way to make the meal progress in a logical fashion for your mouth, your tongue, your mind to appreciate everything.
Yeah.
And instead of figuring out the order of the dishes to serve us, she just went down the menu and all she did was order fire. Or I could tell, like, because all the dishes came out in the same order as they were printed on the menu, which is just bush league.
Right.
At a Michelin star restaurant? Come on, man.